doctor, healthcare professional in Australia who openly say that they would kill someone who is Jewish. That is quite frightening. But on the other hand, I will share shortly, this is actually something that brings great clarity. Great clarity. Let's hear this evil that is so obvious.
You know what? Oh, shit.
How are you, man?
Good, how are you, my man?
Pretty good. Are you a nurse? A doctor?
I'm a doctor, my man.
A doctor? For what?
In hospital. What about you? Where you from?
I'm from Israel, from the Holy Land.
You know what? I'm gonna be really honest with you.
Alright.
I'm gonna be really honest with you. You actually got a really beautiful eyes.
Thank you,
but
man.
I'm so upset that you're Israeli. Like, eventually you're gonna get killed and you're gonna go to Jahannam, inshallah. Like this pretty eyes, they should stay in this world for longer.
Why do you think? Why do you think I'm gonna get killed?
It's Palestine's country, not your country. You piece
how
of
are you?
shit.
What's your name?
One day, your time will come and you will die the most.
We spread
Listen to me.
peace.
Listen to me.
And you spread
when your
death.
time comes.
How are you doctors? Wait.
I want you to remember my face.
Okay.
So
Okay. Gotcha.
That you will
I have a
die the
question
most
though.
disgusting death.
Alright, for sure. I have a question though.
Yeah, what's
I have a question. Let's say an Israeli. God forbid.
I won't treat them. I'll kill them.
You'll kill them? So if an Israeli is in Australia and God forbid something happened to him and he comes to your hospital, would you kill him?
You have no idea how many Israeli Khara dog came to this hospital and I sent him to Jahannam. I
For
literally
real?
sent him to Jahannam.
Ooh. So, is there any good in that? Of course, this is complete evil. The good in it is that it's obvious to any decent person, and that we can join together to eradicate evil. That's the good. In other words, there's evil that is lurking, that's not so obvious, and that's difficult to eradicate. Let's take this on a human level, because whatever we see in our lives, the Baal Shem Tov, the founder of the Hasidic movement, says it's a sign for me in my life that there's something in my inner world that I have to recognize that it's a reflection of something in me. How could this evil be a reflection of something in me that I've heard this? It's because I have inside of me also things that are obviously not healthy for me, not good for me or for anyone. And I have to open my eyes and see that which is inside of me that I need to deal with. There are things inside of me that are what you call the blind spot of an individual that we don't recognize. And those are harder to deal with, to know those issues inside of me. But we all have something that is open and obvious, and that is clear to us that we need to rid ourselves of it. That's an important lesson. Furthermore, that's on a personal level, because I heard this, so I have to look inside of me. You've heard this now. We have to look inside of us. What is there that is so obvious, that is a negative thing, that is against what God wants from us? What is our intended true purpose to fulfill? And we have to get rid of that. Furthermore, the fact that there is such open evil is a sign before the times of the Messianic redemption, where there'll be a clarity, where evil will be so obvious on one side, and that the good part of humanity can come together to eradicate that evil. something like that is so obvious that, of course, good people have to come together and make certain that those two people, amongst other people like that, should not be in any position to help anybody in a hospital or in any manner to have a position of authority or, potential, obviously, what they could do. So that's a good thing, because sometimes a lot of evil is lurking, but it's not so obvious. Like, for example, in the Second World War, Hitler, may his name be obliterated, didn't show the world all the evils he was doing. He hid it. He hid it from the world because he recognized that the world will not accept it, and the world thinks that that's evil. So therefore, it was a much more difficult battle. Didn't know about the Holocaust so well or so clearly until after the war, although people knew but didn't act upon it, but it wasn't so obvious. They didn't have social media that it was in your face. But now, this is in our face. This is obvious. They're not hiding it, which means that it's so obvious that we need to get rid of such evil. What are your thoughts? More importantly, what in your personal life are you going to do now that you saw obvious evil? It's a reflection of something inside of me that I have to recognize and deal with it. Sometimes it could be just a negative thought that I'm constantly having towards a loved one. For whatever reason that it's triggered, but it's a negative thought. A negative thought, that's wrong. Constructive thought is good, that you can help maybe that person, but you have a negative thought about, that person, whatever it might be that you feel towards them. That's a negative thought. So the Tanya teaches us, the Alter Rebbe, the author of the Tanya, teaches us those negative thoughts that are against the divine will to a loved one, for example, push it away with two hands. It doesn't belong in your thought process. If you want to hear more about these teachings, come join me daily for Tanya, mystical Kabbalistic teachings of the Torah. Every single day, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we can grow together, work on our negativity, have self-mastery, and together we can bring light to this world and change the world for good.